Ladies and gents, boys and girls, and everything in between, welcome back to the South Stand View. Guys, I say this every week. I'm a fucking broken record. I know. Complain about it. Give a fuck. Can I ask you to make sure that you are liking, commenting, and subscribing and pressing the notifications bell? If you don't press it, Mikey, that makes you a what?
A rambunctious little scallywag that should know better. I'm going to be a little bit more PC this time, so I'm going to go old school with it.
Old school, mate. Give them a good telling off. Speaking of spankings, that was the first time Leeds United have won by 7 goals since 1972 under the great Don. Mikey, thoughts on the Elland Road massacre that happened yesterday? Well, Leeds United 7, Cardiff 0.
Well, firstly, guys, I'm just going to pour myself a little drink. You can't see it with this background, but I'm going to pour myself a little drink, guys. But so, yeah, I had to do that. Yeah, it, like you say, it was an absolute massacre, wasn't it? Literally men against boys. I feel like everybody were brilliant in every single position, right from the back to the midfield, the attack. I mean, Cardiff were pretty poor, weren't they? But although we put 7 past them, I feel like we've seen worse teams at Elland Road. But yeah. I think they came out and they tried to play football, which you don't see at Elland Road a lot. A bit of, a refreshing change to see. But as the goals were going in towards the end, I was just getting, the clip from Simpsons where "Stop, he's already dead." That was just going on in my head. And my son watched it with me as well, and he was like, he's got real. He's only 8, so he ain't got concepts of other teams and who they are and stuff. And you're like, are these a real team, Dad? Are these a proper team? And I'm like, no, son, they're not. They're not. But yeah, over the moon with that one, boys.
Young Charles, are you with us, mate? Are you alive? Are you breathing?
Yeah, just about, mate. Yeah, just about. It was a long day yesterday, but yeah, I'm all good.
I heard you had a bit of a tipple last night, mate.
You what, mate? Sorry?
I heard you had a bit of a tipple last night. Is that correct?
Yeah, just a bit.
Tequila Rosé, as you said. I don't even know what that is.
A mate of mine just went to the bar. He came over and he had this shot glass with like pink liquid in it. And I had it, and yeah, he said it was tequila rosé. It was minging. It was horrible.
Yeah. So, for the listeners, viewers, however you watch this on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple, Charlie had a bit of a party last night after the game. So, he hot-footed it straight from the game to a party. But we'll stick to the game for now. And if we need to know anything about the party, we'll come to that later. But overall thoughts on the drubbing then, mate?
Yeah, I mean, I feel a bit silly for predicting a 3-1 win now, in hindsight, but yeah, it was nice. I was saying to my uncle actually after the game. I said, it was nice to actually see us turn the dominance into more goals, because, like Mike said, we have seen worse teams at Elland Road this season, and we've not really put them to the sword like we did with Cardiff yesterday. So it was nice to actually properly assert that quality and the dominance that we always see at Elland Road. But yeah, it was just non-stop goals, and it was non-stop entertainment for me. The atmosphere was good as well for a change, and yeah, it was just an all-round amazing 90 minutes, wasn't it?
Unbelievable, mate. I think I said a few weeks ago on one of the pods, I can't remember who it was playing. It might be when we were previewing the Burnley game, that I said, I don't care. I don't give a fuck who you are. If you come out against us and try and play football against us, we will take the absolute piss out of you. And that's what
they did try a little bit, though, didn't they? They did try a bit at first, and I think that's what played into our hands.
Yeah, and I think that was why it was probably 7-0 as opposed to like how we were predicting, lads, like a 2 or 3-1. Like our usual things. Like I'm confident with anyone in this league, whether that be Burnley, Sheffield United, anyone. If you come and play football against the team we've got, we are going to slap your ass and send you to bed. I'm that confident in the team. But we'll move on to our little stat section then of the game, lads. Shocked, Mikey, that we only had 58% possession. It felt like we had a lot more to me, mate.
Yeah, really shocked with that, because when you look at that game and when you're plundering 7 goals, you think I ain't checked the stats, but if you'd have asked me that without telling me the actual stats, I'd have said what we'd have had about 72%, I'd say. Yeah, really shocked. But I think probably it's not as high because they did try to play football and they did a lot of passing out from the back, didn't they? didn't work for them. But I think that's probably why they had a little bit more possession, because they were trying to pass it out from the back, and it didn't work for them. And obviously they were playing with a really high line as well, and that's why they were getting caught. But yeah, I'm really shocked with the stats. Didn't think that at all.
Expected goals, it was 5.73 to 0.05. I'm not sure if we've ever seen lower this season, but I'd be shocked if anyone was lower than that. But big chances created, lads. 7 and 7 goals, Charles. Any thoughts, mate?
Yeah, I mean,
clinical team.
Yeah, and as I said earlier, I think it was nice to actually see us be more clinical as well. There's been games where we have chance after chance after chance, but we're just not clinical enough. But yesterday, it just felt like every shot Leeds had on goal, it just went in. And yeah, maybe it was due to the fact that Cardiff were poor defensively, but I think with this case, I don't really buy into that argument. I think we were just that good yesterday, and I had a little thought actually after the game. I was thinking maybe we were just that annoyed about the game at Turf Moor and how boring it was that we just thought, fuck it, we're just going to go for it today and just absolutely pepper these, because Burnley didn't turn up to play at Turf Moor, but obviously Cardiff kind of did. And like we've all said, if teams do that, especially at Elland Road, then we'll just pick you off. And we absolutely took the piss out of them yesterday, and it was lovely to see.
You couldn't get two different games, could you? We've gone from Burnley
in space of a few days as well.
Yeah.
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah. Isaac, you just said, have we seen any a goal expectancy so low? And it will probably Burnley, won't it last game? But yeah, just to go from that game to that game. But yeah, just to echo what you guys have said, I think if teams come to Elland Road and try to play football, that is how it can go. And it's just a shame that we don't get that a lot. A lot of teams just come and park the bus, don't they? I think you can probably count on one hand, can't you? How many teams have come to Elland Road this season to play? Not many at all. Probably three or four at most.
I would like a round of applause for a certain player that played the majority of the game, or if not the whole game. I don't know if he got took off and didn't get a booking. Leeds United 0 bookings, Mr. Junior Firpo.
That's my acadount, Swanee, anyway.
If you had 7-0 on the Aka, Mikey, and you had the Firpo booking, mate, I'd be fucking fuming.
I know.
But
what a game he had, though.
Mate, we'll touch on like individual players, mate, but 14 corners to 1, which was fucking hell, 14 corners.
Especially first half, it felt like there were a lot of corners. Yeah. Especially first half.
And we didn't do much with them, did we, as well? They were really kind of ineffective. When if we'd have stuck a couple of them in, you're talking it could be nearly double figures that game. But yeah.
And then shots on target, lads, 12. So 12 out of 7. Not bad. And then they had 2 shots, both of them on target. But we'll leave the stats there, lads, because none of us are particularly statisticians. But Mikey, you said off air, mate, that you wanted to touch on a certain someone. So I'll give the floor to you, mate, and let's give him his dues, because you mentioned his game and I said he was fucking brilliant.
The old Spliffmeister General. Yeah, I feel like he's got a lot of stick lately, and probably deservedly so, because I think for me, he's not probably put a good performance in since that game away at Stoke at Boxing Day. But for me, Joel Pirro, I think that's probably his best game in a Leeds shirt for me. I thought he was absolutely brilliant. Not only just with his 2 goals, I think him coming deep and getting the ball and then feeding it out to the wide areas. I think we saw the first 2 goals were, him picking up the ball in deep areas and feeding it out wide to Dan James. And yeah, I'm one of his biggest critics sometimes, and I think a lot of Leeds fans are, and probably deservedly so, because when you watch him, what he did yesterday, that's probably why we're a bit frustrated, because we know he has that in his locker, and we know that that's something that he should be doing every game. But yeah, just to go back to it, I thought he were brilliant. And I think any other game would have been man at match. But then when you look at like Dan James and Firpo as well, it's a tough one. But yeah, his best game for me by a country mile.
Yeah, for me, mate, it's either that one or although he didn't score 2 in that game, the Norwich game in the playoffs. I thought he was playing.
Yeah. That's a good shout.
Prime Benzema that day. But Charles, what do we think of Big Daddy Joel's performance overall, mate?
Yeah, I mean, I'll echo everything that Mike's just said there. I thought it was up there with the best performance that I've seen in a Leeds shirt as well. Don't know if you noticed as well, but he actually seemed to have a bit of pace about him yesterday as well. Like there was, the odd dart up the pitch with the ball, and I'm thinking, God, he's actually got a bit of. That's the most I've ever seen him move, I think.
Because it looked like he had freaking concrete boots on against Burnley, didn't it? He was like he was freaking towing a caravan with concrete boots on because he was just like.
I actually had to look twice to make sure that it were him that actually picked up the ball and ran with it. But yeah, I thought his penalty obviously is always cool and composed in those sort of situations. I was confident that he would score that, and then his finish to make it 7. I thought was a really good composed finish as well. So yeah, all in all, a very good day for him, and I'm sure that he had a well-deserved joint after the game. So yeah,
oh yeah, he just rolled a big one, wasn't he?
Big fat zoot.
LeBron level fucking bomb when he gets in. But
do you think he's sharing it with anyone? Do you think anyone else would have a little go on it with him? Would you? I reckon Nonto would have a little blast on it, don't you?
I reckon larger.
Little Nonto, yeah.
I reckon the boss is on there, mate. The attic stinks of weed all the time, so I wonder.
I was going to say, have you had any police round or anything?
He'll be growing it up there, won't he?
Yeah, he had a party last night.
Harvest.
He was on dwarfhookers.com, mate. There was like fucking.
Yeah. He's a filthy bastard, that Daniel, isn't he?
He is, mate. He is. And he's fucking. As Michael Normanton said, he's got his pulling shirt on, his black polo shirt that he never seems to wash. But yeah, lads, we'll touch on a few players because there was too many people to not mention.
Wasn't a bad player yesterday, was there? Really, they all were outstanding. I thought.
No, they on the stats, not that they mean fuck all. I think I'll be surprised about who the lowest performer was, but I'll get you to guess that in a minute, boys, after we spoke about this person. Daniel fucking James. Charlie, what a fucking player, mate, he's becoming for us.
Absolute joke.
I caught him in bed with my missus. I took him in.
Yeah.
That's how much over. Yeah, that's how.
I'd guide him into my missus.
That is how much I love that man at the minute. I can't lie. But no, all jokes aside, I mean, yeah, he's arguably first name on team sheet for me at the minute. Just his work rate, the fact that he gets back and helps Bogle out as well, which I think is something that a lot of people don't mention with Dan James's game as well. He's always back tracking and helping Bogle out. But yeah, his pace is just an absolute cheat code in this league, I think. And to kind of go away from him a second, but like if we make a change and it's James going off and you've got Nonto and you've got Ramazani coming on, I bet them fullbacks yesterday were thinking, Jesus, give us a fucking break. Lads. Yeah, just give us a break, lads. Yeah, but James, I was glad that he got himself on the score sheet, especially after his assist, because I thought that first half was unbelievable from him. So yeah, I feel like I'm just running out of things to say about him at the minute. It's just I think it's what we expect of him now, especially at this level. Again, there's a conversation about if he can do it in the Premier League, but only time will tell on that. But let's just enjoy him now while we can in this league and in this form.
Not for me, there's not, mate. I'll fucking play him in any Champions League, Dan James soon, I reckon, mate.
Yeah.
But Mikey, anything to add on young DJ?
I don't think there's much more you can add. Like Charlie says, I think we're all running out of superlatives to describe him, and because he's set the bar so high now, you're just expecting that performance week after week, and he just keeps delivering week after week, and he has improved loads, and I think when we do get to Premiership, I think we do get to Premiership. Quote on that. It's probably might be one for meltdowns later, boys, but I think he's improved, and I think he does a really good job in Premiership just because his end product's improved so much. Like you say, his work rate's phenomenal. He's just, and I say it week after week, he's my favourite player by a country mile because he just gives you so much going forward defensively. He's just great.
Class, mate. That first goal, shades of Rafinha against Norwich. Anyone else, or just me?
Yeah. I thought he'd fucked it, there. I thought his touch had gone a little bit away from him, but
I thought keeper were going to take him down.
Yeah,
he stumbled a little bit, and now we're getting ready to shout penalty. But I think the Dan James of old had maybe took that first time shot, or he wouldn't have had the composure to kind of come back in and roll that across to feed the rat, basically.
He fed the rat and he fucking scored.
Yeah, he fed the rat.
We seem to have a few like that where we get the keeper out of position and then it's just defenders to beat. I mean, who was the goal where Solomon scored like that against?
Oh, that
Huddersfield, was it? Not Huddersfield.
No, it was recent.
Sheffield Wednesday. Sheffield United, wasn't it?
Chef Wednesday.
Yeah, Chef Wednesday, wasn't it?
Yeah, but fucking, like you say, lads, we're running out of superlatives about DJ, so we'll move on to someone else quickly. We've already given him a round of applause, but his name's Junior Firpo. Charlie, 3 assists from the boy from left back. I mean, I know we're all pretty shit hot on Sam Byram on this pod, and we give him his credit where it's due, but fuck me, it makes a difference when Firpo's at left back, doesn't it?
That's it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think just the balance in that back four, it just makes sense when he's there. And to go back to Burnley briefly, I think the fact that he didn't play in that game, I think is criminal now, especially after yesterday. I think he'd have given us so much more in that game, but again, that's by the by. But yesterday, just his all-round play, just even his defending yesterday, I thought was good, really good. I think he's improved with that aspect of his game as well. But yeah, like I say, I think similar to Dan James, I think when Firpo plays, you just run out of positive things to say about him. You know, the balls into the box are really good, even the ones that don't work out in the end. You know, he's always forward thinking, he's always wanting to get forward. Whereas Byram, again, is solid. And, you know, defensively he's a lot better, I would say. But when Byram's there, you just lose that balance. You lose that attacking threat down left-hand side. And it was good that we actually had both fullbacks where we could maybe alternate like with the attacks as well. Because, again, I think when Byram plays, we predominantly go down that right-hand side through Bogle and James. But it was nice to obviously just mix it up a little bit yesterday and just keep them on the toes. But, yeah, unbelievable. And best left back in the world, I'd say.
Easily. Probably surpassed Roberto Carlos.
Best chant in the world. I'll give him that.
Yeah, best song in the world by far.
When that gets going, it's unbelievable. When that gets going.
Yeah, mate. I can remember being in the queue at Wembley and that was going off, and I was like,
"Oh yeah.
There's no way we lose today." And I was like, oh, "Okay." But
moving on,
as the prophecy was written, Mikey, you tried sending a certain Junior Firpo to Spain earlier in the season, mate. So has he turned it around for you?
Yeah, I've got to eat a big old slice of humble pie with this one. I've cancelled it, mate. It sounds like I need to send myself there, not him. I've got to eat a big slice of humble pie because he's been absolutely brilliant. And I think when you see him yesterday, you just realise how much you miss him in games because, we love Sam Byram. We love what he does and what he brings to the team. Love that stability, but you know, you don't see balls getting whipped across first time on like 6-yard box. You don't see that attacking threat. So he's been great this season, and I think he's easily been best left back in league for me. I think there's a lot of been talking about Addison Burrows at Sheffield United, who's had a good season, but I think Firpo's been a lot better, and he needs to sign his contract, don't he?
Yeah.
That is what I was going to touch on, mate. I know we've been linked with Matt Targett potentially in the summer, Mikey, but if you give me the option now, we're extending Firpo or signing Matt Targett, it's a fucking non-starter, mate. No, I don't know about you.
No, I think when I think it was you were putting WhatsApp group, wasn't it, Isaac, about Matt Targett, and if to sign him now, if we are looking to sign a player, I think they're looking in wrong areas because, you know, as we're covered at fullbacks, I think we've got Byram that can play both sides. We've got what's his face, Warburton at left back who can play there as well. But he's shy, but he can play there. I think with Firpo, there's a little bit of me that's worried about him when we go to the Premiership. If we go to the Premiership, there's that worry still there with me. But you've just got to take him as he plays now, and as he's playing now, he's been fantastic.
Yeah, man, class. There's talk about him going to Betis. Hopefully not. I'd love to see him with us in the Premier League. But, lads, we will discuss the last 3 players that I think deserve a mention, but we'll discuss 2 of them as a oneer. That midfield partnership for me, don't touch that at all. No. Even when Strauch's fit, leave it fucking well alone. Rothwell and Tanaka are ridiculous at this level. Charles?
Yeah, I agree. I hate to break it to you, but I do think when Strike's fit, he will change it. I don't think he should. I completely agree with that. I think the midfield it's a lot better than what I thought it would be back when it got changed. Obviously, when Ampadu first got injured and that, but yeah, I mean, especially Tanaka. I mean, yesterday some of the drops of the shoulder and how he just put people on their asses and sent them for hot dogs. Just an absolute, just a filthy footballer. And Joe Rothwell is different in a sense of, I think, the bursts up the pitch with the ball, the passing ability, the range of passing as well. His defensive work, I think, as well, goes a little bit unnoticed, but I think him and Tanaka have both got that down to a T. They both know, like, when one goes, one sits, and they've got that kind of relationship on the pitch where they know where each other is. But Farker always raves on about Ampadu, and I think if Strike's fit, I think if you're to take one out, I won't say drop because that sounds harsh, but if you're to take one out, for me, it would be Rothwell, and I'd keep Tanaka in at all costs. But I do agree that it shouldn't be changed, but I just think he will when Strike's fit. I think he will change it.
Mikey, would you keep Pask on the bench, mate, and keep Ampadu as a centre half to play that midfield, or what?
No, I won't. To be fair, it sounds really, really harsh. And if you'd have said this at start of season, you'd have all thought we'd be mad, wouldn't you?
Crazy,
thought we'd be crackers that Ampadu doesn't get in the team. And I think it's kind of touching on what Charlie said. For me, with Rothwell and Tanaka, it's how quickly they've built that understanding on how to play with each other, who goes forward, who goes back, and vice versa. And I just think they complement each other so well. They can both defend, they can both attack. And I think with Ampadu, you don't get much of an attacking threat with him, do you? But he's good at what he does, is Ampadu. But I just think those two complement each other so well. And I don't think any of us saw this coming, did we, at the start of the season, that these two would be probably the best centre midfield partnership in the league. And I think, what you say, Isaac, that's, that statement, just leave them alone, leave that.
Yeah.
It's a very good headache to have, though.
Oh, yeah, it's a great headache. It is a great headache. But you just can't. I mean, Tanaka, Rothwell were really good, but Tanaka were an absolute joke in that game. It's just how much time he gives himself on the ball, and he makes it look so easy. Those little turns where
he never looks panicked either, does he?
Never looks panicked. There were a couple of times where he received it in tight areas just on edge of box, and it's just these little turns how he gives himself so much time on the ball. It's just,
I love the man, mate.
I do, and I think to get him for just under £3 million, it's just the steal of the century. That it's by far
criminal.
Guy was playing in fucking Bundesliga 2.
I know.
Bundesliga fucking 2.
I know.
Crazy.
I know. I remember just before we got him, I remember reading on Twitter about him, and I think Ipswich had played him in pre-season, and there were just a sea of Ipswich fans on Twitter basically saying how good he is and that they wanted him to sign him for Ipswich. They were just waxing lyrical about him, so that made me really excited, when we got him. But he's Premiership level for me easily. I think he'd make that adjustment. It'd be seamless for him, I think, into that league.
Real Madrid level for me, mate. I mean, our correspondent Charles was on him from fucking about 5 years ago, weren't you, Charles, on TikTok, mate? I remember you making a video. Someone saying, sign this boy.
I was just thinking about that as you were talking about him, I think we were linked with him the summer before we got him, after we got relegated, and I was itching for us to sign him then because, as Mike said, there was a lot of good things said about him in the Twitter sphere and shit like that. So I'm just buzzing we've got him now, and the performances that he's putting in are just player of the season material for me.
I can't wait till we sell him to Brighton for £35 million. Can't you? He's literally got
Brighton at the minute.
No, not after that. But when you look at a player in the way Brighton at their transfer strategy, I'm going on too much about it now because I don't want it to happen. But you can just see it, can't you?
Oh, Georgie, yesterday. Poor Georgie.
Yeah,
no,
fuck him.
All right, lads, we won't need to sell in the Premier League anyway. Fuck him. We'll be signing Georgie back. No problem.
Oh, yeah.
I was about to say a very stupid statement, but no, we'll move on.
Let's move on.
Manor Solomon then, boys, to wrap it up. Is this what we've just come to expect of Manor now, Mikey? Is this his level now?
I think it is. Yeah, I think it is. I think kind of to echo what I said about Dan James a little bit as well. I think, again, he's set the bar so high now. I think they're the performances that you come to expect week in, week out. And he makes it look so easy. He finds them runs into the boxes where, James crosses it, puts it across to him. That link-up play between them two as well is really good. And, yeah, I just hope he stays fit, because that's the big thing for me. He's a brilliant player, but I just hope we can get this season out of him.
His first choice now, isn't it? Let's be honest.
100%. And it's great.
First choice.
Any other team in that league, I'd say Kenny Ford of ours, and we've got Ramazani and Nonto on the bench, and we've just got an embarrassment of riches. But yeah, he starts for me 100%. I just think he's a cut when he's a fully fit Solomon's a cut above the Championship in it, and he's showing that now.
Yeah, he took the piss out of us for Fulham, didn't he, in that FA Cup game, curling him into the far corner against the hologram. But
the net that we've got is just not fair at this level, is it? Really, to the rest of the league, it's just not fair.
Fuck them.
Yeah, fuck them. We had to bring Tommaso Bianchi off the bench, so we
League One.
We remember the days in the trenches.
Come on, child, not League One, mate. Chileno.
Yeah, no, but every old player you kind of mention, I always think's League One because you've got League One autism. But yeah,
I've got League One autism.
It's a big change from Jimmy Kebe, isn't it?
God, do you remember him?
Yeah.
Jimmy Kebe and Cameron Stewart, mate, on loan.
You know what? When we signed them both, I was so happy. I was like, oh yeah, we're bringing some wingers in. I thought, they're two good signings. These freaking dog shit.
Noel Hunt.
Yeah.
Noel Hunt.
Yeah.
Top earner. 20 grand a week, Noel Hunt. Fucking.
I know. We've had some shit, boys. We've been in trenches, haven't we? So that's why we enjoy moments like this.
Exactly. Are you enjoying it though? Because we put so much stress on it getting promoted. I feel like sometimes, I feel like this match on yesterday, we can enjoy it because it was that much like a bumming. You know what I mean? Yeah. So this is one of the few games I've actually thought sound fucking 4-0.
I think over the next few weeks and the next few games, I think it will start to creep in a little bit. I won't say pressure, but I think the games will feel a little bit more, hygienic about them, especially the week where we've got I think we've got Sunderland at home, and then we've got Sheffield United away the week after. Yeah. That's a massive week period, is that? But yeah.
But it'll come with that, Charlie. The pressure and feel like everything's riding on games. It'll come because that's how it is for us. I just
hope we're getting into a stride a bit now, though, Mike. You know what I mean? I just hope we're just going through motions now and just get the job done.
I think if we do, and if we make, if we beat Sheffield United and if we beat Sunderland as well, I think comfortably as well. If we're still in that form that we're in now, I think it's curtains for the rest of the league. If I'm being honest.
I must admit, I think even 4 points out of those two games is all right for me.
Yeah, you'd take a draw, wouldn't you? I think Sunderland are very, very beatable at home. Anyone's very beatable because again, they'll come out and try and play against us. Sunderland won't sit back. I think Sheffield United is probably the potential banana skin, isn't it? But you take a draw.
Like I just said, as long as we can beat Sunderland at home, I would take a point away at Sheffield.
And Sheffield United haven't been playing fantastically. I don't think anyone around us has, to be honest. So
it won't be like that Burnley game, will it? Even if it's away at Bramall Lane.
I don't think Holt will ever be like that Burnley game again. It was that bad.
I mean, should we briefly touch upon Burnley just for a minute or two? I mean,
let's do it.
0-0 with Portsmouth.
That
is
again.
I just don't understand. If I'm a Burnley fan, I'm absolutely raging at that. Yeah. Fair enough, the Leeds result as an isolated game, you can go, fair enough. But to go to Fratton Park, again, we've not gone there yet, so I won't take the piss too much. But especially, and they're still raving on about him. I'm like, how can you rave on about him? Yeah, they defend well, but I'd be raging if I were watching Leeds.
They literally have no attacking threat whatsoever, do they?
It's shocking, mate. It's awful.
I think we pinpointed Jadon Anthony during the Leeds game, but all they did were a few little touches here and there. But I think they're close to signing that Edwards, aren't they, from Portugal, aren't they? He's good. Yeah, that is a good sign because I think they just missed out on Morgan Whittaker, didn't they? Because he's gone to Borough, so I think he were there.
Apparently, he'll be the best Championship signing in history now. After Enzo Lafite.
Yeah.
Funny though, if I can interject, ask me if I prefer Marcus Edwards or Dan James. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly. Who do you prefer out of Marcus Edwards or Dan James?
Edwards. No, I'm joking.
I know what you mean. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Non-starter, mate. Anyone that they sign, unless they go and sign fucking Cunha.
He can't be playing at Sporting, this guy, though. Like, I know people are raving on about him, but for him to drop from Champions League to Championship, like, you can't be playing well, or you can't be thought of in that team. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. If he were doing that
well, he's probably the same as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then all these teams are buying all these players, but would any of them get into our team? That's what you got to think, can't you?
No chance.
Is it Middlesbrough's, mate? They're getting Iheanacho out there and somebody else as well. I think Middlesbrough making a couple more.
Left them yet? Has he gone?
I think it's more or less done, innit? Pretty much. So I think they're close to signing, Iheanacho, Leicester striker. He's not at Leicester, I think he's at Seville. And there was one more player as well, another wide player. I forgot his name, but it looks like another good signing for Middlesbrough. But again, none of them are getting our team, and we'd beat them as well. So
Boston going tomorrow night, aren't they, Borough?
Yeah. I think us Leeds fans, I think we get kind of hung up on other teams buying all these players, but I think when you got to think of it realistically, would it be players that add to our team, add to our squad? And I don't think a lot of them would do.
But
I don't think anyone would, Mikey.
Nah.
There is one player that is heavily linked with us at the minute, and all of the top journalists are saying that he's probably the only one that we're interested in. Archer.
Don't need him, do we now?
No, and isn't it mad how we get linked with a very good striker, and then Perot has a game like that? Maybe it would be good if he did come in, because it'd give him a kick up the arse, I think. But he wasn't in the Southampton squad yesterday.
Groin injury.
Yeah, that old chestnut. But yeah.
I think he will go somewhere. I'm not sure if it'll be us, because apparently
you take him, won't you?
Oh yeah, I think
a player like, as well as we're playing, you put a player like him, you bring him in, don't you?
Yeah.
And you just make us even better.
He has said though that he would only move to a team that he'd be guaranteed a start at.
Yeah.
I just don't think Farker would guarantee him that 100% to begin with, anyway.
Yeah.
But for me, I would put him straight in. But yeah.
That's the only thing that makes me think that we might not be getting him. The fact that if he's saying he wants to play every single game, he's not guaranteed that at Leeds. I don't think anybody's guaranteed that at Leeds, are they, really? I think
our squad's that good. No one's
everyone's got somebody, probably apart from centre-backs, everybody's got wing-backs, I guess, as well. Everyone's got someone breathing down the neck to start in them positions. So you can't have him coming as an exception and just guarantee him game time, because
I mean, everyone apart from Isaac Schmidt, because he ain't getting a look in.
He wasn't even on bench, was he?
Were he not?
I don't think he was on bench. Oh, I don't even think he was on bench.
That, to be honest, no.
Don't quite. I think I looked at team and thought, get it up. I don't think he was on bench. Quote me if I'm wrong, but I might have just been looking at it bog-eyed. But
no, he won't. No.
Yeah,
it was Gallo, Byram, Verber, Stroik, Gruev, Gilavogi, Largy, Nonto, and Joseph. Yeah.
What has that boy done?
I'll ask Dan later.
Ask him later when you're up feeding him through Olin Wall. Yeah.
In the glory hole. Anyway.
You took it out of the mouth and Isaac came back to him. Feeding him through glory hole.
I mean, obviously, Nonto scored as well yesterday, didn't he? But I'm only touching upon that because Isaac came up with a very good episode name for this one. I'm not sure if we'll call it this.
We should.
Yeah.
Do you want to say it, Isaac, or shall I read it out?
After he scored, he came on and I said, yes, let's call this episode Willie Finally Satisfies.
Yeah.
So I thought that was
I like that one.
Quite decent.
The Elland Road Massacre.
5-star Willie.
Yeah, that can be like Kill Bill 2 or something. We could have the Elland Road Massacre, Satisfaction of Willie. Or Major Willie Satisfaction.
I think you'd have some fun on AI image generator with that, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah.
With a bottle of Corona in his hand. Bottle of Moretti in his hand.
Spaghetti all over the place. Yeah. He did well. He did well when he came on, didn't he, as well, Nonto?
Yeah, for the first 10 seconds.
Yeah, he scored after about 10, 20 seconds, didn't he?
Yeah, a minute he was on. But that's it for goal scorers. We won't touch on anyone else. We'll just move on. No one else of any note scored, did they? No? Good.
No, every single attacker, wasn't it? That could score, did score.
Who put the ball in the Cardiff net after fucking team did?
Yeah.
I'm only joking. We will touch on, of course, League One Matty. Now League One Matty, as you did. He got his goal.
It was a tap in, but yeah, we'll give him. Yeah,
off his knee or something, however it went in. But they all count, mate. And listen, I'm happy for him. The only reason I take the piss out of him is because I want him to score goals for my football club boys, and when he's not, I'll give him shit. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah,
same with Joe Perot. I mean, I said we discussed it. It's like playing with 10 men when he's not scoring the other day. So anyone can get it, boys. It's like meltdowns. Anyone can fucking get it if they're not performing.
I think a lot of it is just because we had such high expectations in pre-season.
Well, Mikey certainly did. TikTok.
Oh, yeah, we know,
best player in league.
It's just mad how his predictions have just gone horribly wrong with him, innit? But he's still young and he is raw still, isn't he? So hopefully that goal can give him a little bit of a boost. But yeah, it was nice to see him get on the score sheet for a change.
But from his goal, he was a great ball from Firpo, wasn't it? But I think he got himself into them positions that he hadn't been doing for the majority of this season. That's what stuck out to me from that goal. Is there's been a few balls that have been fizzed across that 6-yard box, and he kind of hesitates and don't get himself in there, and he did that. So maybe that's just something he needs to do a little bit more. Is gamble and get himself on the end of on end of crosses and pushing on defenders. But yeah, happy for him, and hopefully he keeps on improving.
Fingers crossed, mate. But
yeah,
I want to touch on something back on the Cardiff game before we move on, boys. 4 Swansea connections in our starting 11 yesterday. Is that why we gave him a good old pasting? Is that part of a reason why?
Yeah.
Can you name 4? There's a hidden one.
Rodon.
Yep.
James.
Yep.
Pirro.
Yep.
Mm.
Ethan Ampadu played for Swansea.
Okay.
All right. I was just going to say, did this person start the game? But obviously not.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Well, they'd have been well up for it. Maybe that was why Pro had a racket up his ass. He was like, right, you beat my beloved Swansea 3-0 the other week. So
we did start chanting like England at them as well, which were quite funny.
Yeah.
Did
you see Leeds?
Been to Cardiff? I've been to Cardiff.
Yeah, I've been.
I have actually. Yeah. I've been to Millennium Stadium once.
Yeah, I went there when we played Watford in playoff.
The actual Cardiff City Stadium.
Oh no! I've not been at stadium. No.
Yeah, I went when we lost under fucking. Who's just been named as the fucking Farsi Celtic manager now?
Oh, Redfern.
Yeah, Redders. Yeah, I went under Redders and we lost 3-1. Terrible, mate. Terrible fucking thing.
Yeah. We've never really done overly good at Cardiff, have we, away from home as well?
Even when we were a Champions League team, mate, remember we drew them in the FA Cup in like 2002, 2001? Yeah,
that's when it all kicked off at stadium and stuff like that. And that Sam and Man were giving it all that. Yeah.
We've beat them 9-0 over 2 games this season. Mad.
Always nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
We'll take that all day long.
Fat Frank midweek.
His bald spot gets worse by the day. You shave it off, Frank.
Shave it off, mate. Just call it there.
Yeah, just whip it off.
You're talking from experience there, Mike.
I am. Just get it whipped off, boys.
Braved it.
You've got to do. There becomes a time where you whip it off or you become a target, and I refuse to be a target, boys.
You're only a target when you say Joseph's going to be top scorer or something.
Yeah, you've just got to own it, or else other people just have your life for it. So, did you see the clip when Gary Lineker spoke about his bald spot when he was being interviewed, and he did? Frank Lampard did that Frank Lampard face where he smiles and then just goes like that straight after. I'll find it, lads, and put it in WhatsApp group. It's hilarious. Yeah, Lineker just proper owns him by going on about his bald spot. Yeah.
What about old mate Matt Grimes going to join Fat Frank at Coventry, Mikey.
Yeah. He's been there. He's been there. I saw his like parting comment on Twitter. Has he been there 10 years? I can't believe
10 years, mate.
10
well,
years.
We had him on loan from Swansea, didn't we?
Yeah.
When they were in the Premier League.
Yeah. He's been there 10 years, and he's been good. After he left us, he's been really good for them. He's been one of better players in Championship. But he was getting a lot of stick on Twitter from Swansea fans, which I'm sure his mum won't be happy about. Do you remember his mum were piping up about Leeds fans saying how horrible we are?
Fair point.
Never mind.
Yeah, we are vile.
He's not the strangest mum though we've ever had. Does anyone remember Lasogga's mum?
Oh, kinky bitch, wasn't she?
Got a picture of him and her in the bath when he's like a grown man.
Yeah.
Not wrong with that. Each to their own.
Yeah.
Oh,
Special bath time.
No, I'm not into that.
Yeah, you were sticking up for him, mate. If you want to share something,
I'm sticking up for him, but each to their
there's
own.
no judgment here, mate. If you want to bath for your mum, that's sound.
Whatever gets you through the night.
Lasogga's mum were a weird one. I saw some other pictures like dodgy levers on and stuff like that. She looks like a proper kinky bitch, you know what I mean? But
how's she going at a naked portrait training, Mikey? All right.
Yeah, she's doing well, mate. She's been drawing me a few times, but it's took her a while to draw certain body parts. You know what I mean? My forehead.
Begin before anyway. Lads, I just want to discuss some contracts with you. In a word, yes or no, please. Are you giving this person a deal if it's there to be done? Manor Solomon on a permanent, yes or no?
Yes.
Charlie, we'll start with you.
Yes.
We both done it then. Joe Rothwell.
Yes.
In the Premier League.
Yes.
No, I know. Not for me. Not for me. Just on the fact that he's tried it a few times, hasn't he?
Have him as a squad player, definitely.
Yeah, but I don't know if he'd be happy being a squad player. That's the reason for me, really. If he'd be happy to be a squad player, I'd take him with open arms. But he's been Southampton, we're at Bournemouth as well, where he's been there when they've been in Premiership and he's not been happy being a squad player. So for that reason, it'd be a no for me. And I think we don't want to be sentimental FC, do we, when we go up, because that's what happened to us last time. But yeah, if he were a squad player, but no, I don't know. I feel harsh with that one, but I'm just.
And then finally, Junior Firpo, extend him or fuck him up.
Do we have to answer that, or is it just a given?
Well, you might have a fetish for Matt Target, mate. Now you've got a fetish for baths. So
fetish for baths. I definitely don't have a fetish for Matt Target. God. Yeah, Firpo, I would. Yeah, I would.
Like it in the Premier League against Mo Salah again. Do you want to see it?
No, I don't. No, I really don't want to see it. I'm scarred from last time.
Up to Saudi.
Yeah. It's another one for me. I think if we do go up and he'd be happy to be a squad player, yeah, I'd take him. But I think we've got to improve in that area. I think if we go up, because I think he's playing in a team in Championship that dominates constantly, and we're not going to do that in Premiership. And when he's on back foot, he scares me.
But the next quickfire question for you boys. Tomorrow, obviously, 11 p.m, the transfer window slams shut until summer. Charlie, in a word, mate, are we going to get a little signing through the door before that time ends? Yes or no?
I'm going to say no.
No. Complete no window, no signings.
No
us and Liverpool, as Big Gaz pointed out, us and Liverpool don't need to make any signings because we're both top of the league. And I was like, all right, Dad.
It's a valid point, though.
Well, yeah. Mikey, over to you, mate. In a word.
Yes, I think we get one in. I'm ever the optimist.
What, Archer?
I think Archer. I think we get him.
That would be an unbelievable signing. That.
I think we get him. But just to go back to what you said, Charlie, is a little bit in the back of my mind that thinks he wants to play every game, every minute. Wants to be guaranteed.
Surely he wants a medal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where are you going? Do you just want to go and have a party for fucking 6 months, or do you want to go to fucking Borough and be 8th in the end of the season?
But if we go for him, I think they want an obligation to buy, don't they? And I think that,
Sound.
yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it.
Yeah.
We'll be shitting money when we go up, so we'll do it.
I mean, it's worked out in past, hasn't it, with old Jean-Kevin Augustin? So
yeah, exactly.
Well, if you don't like him, we'll just fuck him off and refuse not to pay. So we've got
yeah. Then pay triple his value and 3 years worth of wages.
Yeah, 120 grand a week. That cunt was meant to be on.
Jesus. What about you, Isaac? Do you think we get anyone?
If I'm realistic, mate, no. Wishful thinking, yeah, I think we get Archer through the door. I wouldn't really be surprised either way. I mean,
I'm just not getting my hopes up personally.
There's talk of the dominoes falling now because apparently Evan Ferguson has gone to West Ham, so that means Danny Ings might be going back to Southampton. Then that frees up Cameron Archer for us. So if Ings goes to Southampton, I'd be pretty expecting something to happen pretty sharpish. So don't be surprised if you see us on a little live stream tomorrow. We'll have the here we go for you. But
I am off work again tomorrow, so I'll be straight on if we get Archer.
Part time or now, Charlie?
I just needed
man of leisure.
I just knew I needed the long weekend.
It takes a bit longer, doesn't it, when you get a bit older? But I think with transfers, I think it's either going to be Archer or it's going to be a proper left field player that no one's even spoke about, because we do have that in his locker sometimes as well, don't we, boys? With 49ers, I think. Someone
from Switzerland, left back.
Yeah, that Goebbels or whatever it's called, that striker. Yeah. I think I'm always very optimistic about things, and I think it's just with me, it's just wishful thinking, hoping as well. A lot of it's hope, but I do think there might be a little surprise for us tomorrow, boys.
Fingers crossed, mate. But gentlemen, thank you for giving us your Sunday evening. And if you're watching this, as always, guys, thank you for watching. Charlie, would you be so kind? You can go to bed now, Charlie.
Yeah, mate.
Thank you. Thank you.
So send us home, mate. Gentlemen, I love you very much, both. And hopefully you see us tomorrow with some good news.
Here we go.
As always, guys, make sure you're liking, commenting, and subscribing. And as the lads have said, hopefully we might see you tomorrow if we sign someone. But if not, we'll be back on. Mike's got his 7-Up. We'll be back on Tuesday with our Coventry preview. So
Lockdown just took a shit can, innit, with these midweek fixtures.
It's all but hopefully that will be back probably the week after, once we're back in a normal schedule. But if we don't speak to you tomorrow, then we'll definitely see you Tuesday for the Coventry preview. So enjoy the rest of your weekend. And cheers.
Cheers, everyone.